Hey everybody, welcome back to the workshop. Today we will be making this box elder bowl. It is about 5 inches in diameter, and so if you want to see how I made this, stick around and I'll show you how. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the center on this piece here, and then I'm going to drill a hole that will accept my screw chuck. This is a worm screw, and that goes inside of my chuck, and then we'll mount it on the lathe. Okay, so now that I've drilled that, I'm going to mount my chuck on my lathe, and then put my screw, or worm screw, inside of the chuck. And tighten that down. And then I don't want to go the full, have the screw go all the way into the piece. So I'm just going to take a little spacer with a hole in it, just to take a little bit of that off. So I have the piece mounted on my screw chuck. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten off this face here, and then I'm going to take the corners off. And so just take it down to round. Okay, one thing always to remember, make sure that the tool hits the tool rest before it touches the wood, or else it'll slam it down and it can cause a lot of problems. So I need to just drop my tool rest down just a little bit to get this at center. Okay, so I'm going to be doing a pull cut here. So I flattened off this face here, and I've almost taken this portion down. So now I'm just going to come and move my tool rest out to here and finish taking these corners off. Always be sure to spin the piece before you turn the lathe back on, so that way it doesn't hit the tool rest. Okay, so my tool rest is starting to get farther away from the piece, so I'm just going to move it in. Oh, so you want to keep it as close as you can, so that way there's not quite as much leverage on this end of the tool, and it won't throw your tool into the piece. Okay, so I got this piece taken down to round. Now I'm going to come over here, establish where I want my tenon, and then shape the outside of the bowl. Okay, so I have my divider set here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark this here, and I want both ends to line up, but be sure not to touch this end over here, because if this end touches the wood, it's going to come and kick it back at you. There we go, it's right where I want it. So now I'm just going to come back in with my bone gouge. Actually, I'm going to take a second to sharpen this. Okay. Just speed this up just a little bit. That's about 2,000 RPM. I finished doing the outside, and I actually have a very, very nice finish on this. I have the speed turned really high up, and my tool is sharp, so I'm just going to go ahead and sand this at about a 220 grit and then 220. There are some little fuzzy patches that I might have some problems with, but we'll see. Okay, so I finished sanding the bottom of the bowl, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually finish this now. And the finish I use is the Mahoney finish, Mike Mahoney finish. It's a utility finish, and it's really nice. You can use it with food, and it gives you a really nice finish, and it's not super glossy, so it shows off more of the wood. So I just turn this on to low speed, take it and wipe it on. Make sure I didn't miss any spots there. I'm going to take a second and have you look at the grain pattern on this piece here. It's just gorgeous piece of wood. This is box elder. Came from a tree in my neighborhood. It's got a lot of really cool figure in it, especially right there. Okay, so I've got that on there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the dry portion of the cloth and turn this up a little bit. I'm just going to kind of warm it up just a little bit. Make it dry a little faster. Okay, and that's all it takes. And I think you can probably put more than one. You could probably put more than one coat. I'm actually going to try that on this piece here. So as you can see, that gives a really nice finish. It's not super high gloss, but it feels great. This piece here I sanded really well. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this off my screw chuck here and remount it in the jaws. Make sure that it's flush against all of the jaws. There's no gaps on the top. That way it'll be centered. Yeah, that lined up pretty good, so there's no vibration. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to true off this face here, flatten that out, and then I'll start hollowing it out. Speed this up. Okay. And when I'm truing up the faces of these, I have this bowl gouge that I was given by a good friend of mine. And it has two different grinds on it. So one side has a fingernail grind, or an Irish grind. And then the other side has a traditional bowl gouge grind. And what this allows you to do is, when you're hollowing out a bowl, normally what you want to do is have your regular bowl gouge or fingernail grind. This is actually a 40-40 grind that Mike Mahoney and Stuart Batty use. But I have the exact same thing on here. And this way, this edge, when you're coming through here, it gives you a really nice cut going in, and then the other side gives you a nice cut going the other way. That way you don't have to switch through 2 different gouges. Okay, so now I've finished hollowing out this, so now I'm just going to go ahead and sand it, and then I'll put a finish on it, and then I'll show you how I reverse it and take off the bottom. Okay, so I finished sanding the inside, put a finish on it. Now I've mounted this in my cold jaws, and I'm going to take off the bottom here and sand it and finish it, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. Okay everybody, here is the finished product. This is a piece of box elder. It's about 5 inches in diameter. It's a gorgeous grain pattern. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you want to see more videos, please subscribe, comment below, and share it with your friends. And I'll see you on my next video. Bye.